Hey, good morning and good evening to the One Piece verse, and this is Big D Mike. Now, this ain't gonna be a live reaction for the latest chapter of One Piece 1103.
What?
It's gonna be a review, pretty much us catching up to what happened on last week's chapter. Again, I would say it was a chapter that we've all been waiting for. We've anticipated it.
I agree.
Especially the ending and having to see the last panel and not seeing what happened after was freaking blue balls of you, Oda. So much blue balls. All right, so let's start with the color spread. All right, it's pretty much Oda saying Happy New Year to everybody, because it is the year of the Dragon for 2024. So we got the Straw Hats wearing some dragon themed clothing. Frankie literally has his hair on a dragon style, which is cool in the anime or probably in the manga. Won't be cool in real life, I think, but hey, it's Frankie. He can do whatever he wants when it comes to his hair. So there you go. Also, Momonosuke again figures, because at the end of the day, he's a dragon. So I also put Momonosuke in there. One curious thing is that there is Yamato. I don't know how in hell is she related to a dragon, but at the end of the day, she is a daughter of a dragon. So let's chuck her in there. A lot of people who have read this and are big Yamato fans would probably hint this as a foreshadowing that Yamato is and will be added to the Straw Hat lineup. At the end of the day, it's still a possibility. It's still a possibility. She does have a dream. She does have a sad backstory and all that. But at the end of the day, we still have to see it happen. All right? For now, let's keep it a buck. She ain't a Straw Hat yet. She hasn't joined. She's an honorary Straw Hat, just like Vivi. So we'll see. All right, we will see in the coming years, because we all know this series will be ending, yes, but not soon. Later, but not soon enough. So afterwards, we pretty much jump, still in a backstory, but not the past backstory. We're talking about the current situation, where Bonnie is meeting up with Vegapunk right after her popping the bubble, the memory bubble, absorbing Kuma's memories, and apologizing to Vegapunk. Because at the end of the day, at the beginning of this arc, she thought that Vegapunk was the sole reason, was the person that made her daddy to what he is, put his father to the situation is on right now, into a mindless killing machine. But no, we all know who is. We all know whose fault it is. We all know who ordered for Kuma to lose his humanity, his memories, etc. Now, cutting a little forward, we see Vegapunk giving Bonnie a gift coming from Kuma, a sapphire necklace, which is a little bit ironic, because if we remember, it's pretty much still fresh in our freaking minds here. Bonnie contracted or pretty much inherited her mother's illness, which is the sapphire scale, which slowly deteriorated a person's body and hardening their body to a stone-like figure, and also producing sapphire-like scales. It's kind of cruel, but at the end of the day, that's what Kuma gave her. Maybe as a situation where, as you lost your jewels, here's one for you right now, because at your 10th birthday, you're pretty much going to be cured. You will lose those sapphire stones coming out of your skin. So here's one to replace that. Just sad, but also kind of nice for Kuma to do. But at the end of the day, it wasn't Kuma who gave it to her. It was Vegapunk. It was fucking Saturn. God damn you, Saturn. All right, now Vegapunk did say that Kuma said that it's a protective charm, which, based on what we saw in the last panel of this chapter, I think there's something about that freaking necklace. There is something about that necklace, which I'll talk about later. All right. Now, Bonnie pretty much saying to not worry about it because Vegapunk is feeling a little down, a little disappointed in himself because he was not able to commit to his promise to Kuma of protecting Bonnie of his memories of knowing his suffering in the world. So he's sad about that, but at the end of the day, Bonnie said, no, don't worry, the person who was at fault was him. And pretty much we then cut to where we left off before the freaking backstory started. Saturn holding Bonnie up high, directing all the soldiers to kill Bonnie, shoot her on the head, and we pretty much are on that situation right now, continuing it. And we also see Luffy pretty much begging for food, pretty much to, replenish his energy, but no one can give him food. No one in this situation, neither Sanji, Vegapunk, Atlas, Frankie, can pretty much go to the machine that produces food to give to Luffy, except potentially two individuals, one of which is a high candidate to maybe be the one to have given Luffy the food that he'll be munching on in this chapter. Then we cut back to the people of the world knowing what's happening in Egghead, worrying about Vegapunk's safety, and the dragon and Ivankov, also talking about Kuma, what Kuma could have done, what Kuma would do, and all that stuff. And then we see Bonnie trying to attack, literally trying to attack Saturn with her move, not really a gum, but a Gear 3rd move that she used during the backstory against Alpha, if you remember correctly. There, it's the distorted future, Nick-ish future, which didn't work because based on what Saturn said, this is pretty much giving us an explanation of what Bonnie's ability is, period. Giving us a much more detailed explanation on how her devil fruit works. What it is that whoever the user is of this fruit, right, has the ability to conjure up futures, all right, certain futures, and become it. So on this situation, what she's doing is conjuring up a future where she was Nika, or maybe that where Nika was a reality or was real. but because she's in a predicament right now, she's currently losing all hope. She couldn't really put all of her effort into hitting Saturn, which weakens it. And due to that situation, her belief wasn't strong enough, which didn't lead her damaging Saturn whatsoever. She just ended up bonking him on the head with nothing, absolutely nothing. Because based on what we're seeing here, there is a matter of believing what you think what the future would be or could be, which works, because at the end of the day, she's a kid. And that's one thing that kids are pretty much very profound, very good at, imagining things, believing in something that isn't real, that could be real, that could potentially be real. Hence why we tell kids Santa Claus is real, and they believe that wholeheartedly, that Santa Claus is real. They believe that the monster under the bed is real, and all that stuff. So believing is a child's utmost ability, or furthermost ability, and this fruit is pretty much best used by a child. But as of right now, because she is in the predicament that she's right now, she's pretty much broken. She doesn't have that factor of belief that she will be saved, that there is Nika, that Nika is real, that Nika will someday come to pretty much save her, save the world and all that. She's currently crumbling down, and her belief system is also crumbling down with her. Hence why the attack didn't work. And then suddenly, as I mentioned, Luffy suddenly has food beside him, and he started munching down, which is weird because, as I mentioned earlier, the whole gang, Sanji, Vegapunk, Atlas, and Frankie, couldn't move. But here's this weird part. Kizaru is suddenly sitting upright. The last time we saw him in this chapter, and also in prior chapters, he was lying down because he got hit by Luffy in his Nika form right on the head. So why is he suddenly sitting down at a different position to where he was originally? I think on my end, I do believe that maybe, just maybe, that it was Kizaru who provided food for Luffy, because he believes Luffy can save Bonnie. Now, there is another thing that's coming around, which also kind of makes sense. That's a possibility, because Caribou is still on the island. Caribou is still on the island, and there is a possibility that Caribou pretty much took a lot of food, just like what happened at Onigashima at Wano, and gave Luffy the food. Again, that's a possibility. We can't deny it. It can happen.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
And then afterwards, we suddenly cut to Kuma. Kuma flying off to the distance. And Saturn being a bitch, saying to Bonnie that, stop hoping. Your father's dead. There's no hope for you guys. Everyone in this island will die. And then suddenly something crash landed. Who is the person, or who is it, or who was it that landed on Egghead? None other than Bartholomew Kuma. Guys, Daddy's back.
Daddy's back.
And he's back with a vengeance. He pretty much saved Bonnie when Saturn threw her to the ground, trying to pierce her with his leg. Kuma was rushing in, being pummeled riddled with bullets, riddled with cannons, but that won't stop him. Daddy will not stop. He won't stop. He is a tank on a mission, and that mission is to save his child. Bonnie crying, bawling, saying sorry to his dad, saying sorry that she is wasting her life, the life that he sacrificed for her. But then again, we all know that Kuma ain't the same anymore. He's pretty much a lifeless corpse, but he's still going for it. He's still running towards Bonnie, towards Saturn, taking the hit, literally taking the freaking hit. Similar to how Ace, this is how Oda is such an asshole sometimes. Similar pose, similar situation to how Ace took the blow from Akainu to save Luffy. Kuma took the blow at his back, on his back, to save freaking Bonnie. But the main difference is that leg with a claw, that ain't lava. So Kuma gripped it out of his back, and then I whipped the wind up with armament freaking Aki, with the grit of his teeth, winding up, putting his whole back into it, going to give freaking Saturn a haymaker, a knuckle sandwich, and then done. The chapter's on. Blue balls from Oda, as usual. Never giving us the satisfaction of seeing Saturn getting his comeuppance. But at the end of the day, that's how it is. That's how Oda does it. That's how Oda, drags us into the story. So we're on break for this week. Next week, we're going to get the chapter. Hopefully, I'm hearing some things that it's going to be a 2-week break. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. But if it is, my God, it's going to be a very long 2 weeks. Giving us at least 2 weeks of anticipating what will happen. Will Kuma really be able to hit Saturn with that daddy punch? The super daddy punch. Because I want to see it. Everybody wants to see it. You want to see it. And also, do you want to see me do a live reaction for the next chapter? If you do, I want to see some likes on this video. Maybe 100 likes will do. 100 likes on the video, I'll do a live reaction for next chapter. If not, I'll probably just do a review. Because right now, reviews are probably what I can do, especially with the schedule I'm having right now when it comes to work. Also getting very tired. But other than that, guys, if you have any opinions about the chapter, feel free to type it in the comment section down below. Also, please like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you like my content, my One Piece content. And as always, have a great day, have an awesome week, smile always, and too sweet to you all.